Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shifts. My name is Michael Ojuola for Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want us to talk about progress. All right, progress. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Progress accelerates when you measure success against personal standards rather than borrowed comparisons. Progress accelerates when you measure success against personal standards rather than borrowed comparisons. See, you can work hard every day, stay committed every day, stay disciplined every day, and still feel like you're falling behind. Not failing, not quitting, but just constantly behind. That feeling doesn't come from lack of effort. It comes from measuring your progress with the wrong ruler. So today's episode is about why progress feels heavy when comparison leads, and why your momentum returns the moment you decide to measure your success on your own time. So I want you to stay with me for some couple of minutes. Welcome once again to Daily Mind Shift with Minister Mike. Like I said, this episode is about progress accelerating when you measure your success against your personal standards. This conversation is for anyone doing the work, yet secretly questioning if it is enough. So today, we're talking about why comparison drains your momentum, how personal standards change the entire experience of growth, and why internal measurement builds confidence that doesn't shake when noise gets loud. So let's get into it. Comparison feels natural. It's sneaking quietly. You don't sit down and decide to compare. It happens while you're scrolling, while you're listening, while you're observing someone else's progress. At first, it looks harmless. You tell yourself it is motivation, a reference point, a benchmark. Yet, comparison does something subtle to your momentum. It changes the finish line in the middle of the race. You make progress, then you notice someone is further ahead of you. Then suddenly your progress feels smaller. Not slower, but smaller. This creates dissatisfaction, even during growth. The problem is not seeing other people succeed. The problem is borrowing their timeline and measuring your worth against their timeline. Their starting point was not yours. Their resources was not yours. Their networks was not yours. Their circumstances were not yours. Yet, comparison ignores context. It turns growth into a losing game. Someone will always be ahead. Someone will always appear to be moving faster. And momentum suffers when effort feels unrewarded. Momentum thrives on acknowledgement. Comparison totally removes it. Comparison to other people's standards totally removes the momentum from you. So it's important for you to understand that personal standards change everything. A personal standard answers a simple question: what does improvement look like for me? Not in theory, not in someone else's life, in yours. Personal standards account for your capacity. It accounts for your season. It accounts for your reality. It accounts for your environment. It accounts for your work ethic. When you define success internally, every step counts. You don't dismiss progress just because someone else moved further. You measure against yesterday. That shift alone restores motivation. See, personal standards create clarity. You know what winning looks like today. You know what effort earns credit. You know when to push and when to recover. This creates authentic progress. Not flashy progress, not noisy progress, sustainable progress. See, when standards come from within you, growth feels reinforcing. It's not exhausting, it feels reinforcing. You need to understand also that confidence grows fastest under internal measurement. Your confidence grows fastest under internal measurement. External comparison creates fragile confidence. It depends on position, it depends on ranking. Internal metrics, on the other hand, builds ownership. You know your effort. You know your consistency. You know the work that no one is looking at. You know the work no one sees. This kind of confidence does not disappear when someone else wins. All right? No. When people are winning around you, you're happy for them, but it doesn't really bother your confidence because you are measuring yourself by yourself. You are measuring yourself by your personal standards. It doesn't flinch when attention is shifting away from you. It stays. See, internal measurement protects motivation. It filters out noise. It grounds your focus. You stop chasing validation. You start stacking evidence. Evidence of discipline, evidence of growth, evidence of follow through. That evidence compounds in time. See, when you compete with yesterday, improvement will feel reachable. That's what I want to say. Improvement will feel reachable every single day, especially when you compete with yesterday. Do you understand me? How did I do yesterday? What did I do differently yesterday? And how can I make it better today? You will discover that your improvement will feel reachable because you are not comparing yourself with another person. You are comparing yourself with your yesterday. And then you will see reachable progress will accelerate your movement. Reachable progress will accelerate your movement. See, it's important for you to understand that comparison drains momentum by moving the finish line. Comparison drains your momentum by moving the finish line. If you look at yourself and you did not see yourself, you are comparing yourself to your neighbor or what your sisters got, what your friend is achieving, what your enemies are doing, whatever it is a stranger is doing online or outside, you will discover that your momentum drains. You start slowing down. Not because you are really truly tired, not because you are almost done, but because you feel inadequate. And that is why you need to measure yourself against the standard you set for yourself, not what other people were doing. And let your standard, I need to add this, be realistic to your capacity. Many of us set a standard that is not congruent to our capacity. You set a standard because other people are setting the same standard. It is still unhealthy comparison because your goal is borrowed from another person's purpose, and that must stop. This new year, this new month, this new week, that must stop. Your comparison should be based on what you want for your life, on the capacity you have to deliver on those goals and those plans, on what makes you tick. Do you understand me? So it's important for you to understand that comparison will drain your momentum, will stop you from moving because you are moving the finish line, even in the midst of your progress. And also, personal standards will turn effort into real progress. Set personal standards for yourself, not the standards that your daddy set for you, not the standard that your mom sets for you, not the standard that your siblings or the society set for you. What do you want for yourself? What impact do you want to achieve? What legacy do you want to create? What story do you want to tell? How do you want your life to end? What do you want to be remembered for? These are personal questions that can be answered personally, that needs to be answered personally. That personal standard that you have, you will see it turning your effort into real progress, and that is what makes changes possible, especially for you. See, and finally, we said internal metrics build confidence that lasts. Measure yourself by your soul standard. Measure yourself by your spiritual standards. Measure yourself by your mental standard, by the type of mental energy that you carry. Today's action is simple. Define one personal standard for the week ahead. One metric that reflects growth for you, and track that particular metric. No borrowing, no ranking, just progress.